Hello and welcome. This video is going to be what sold for me on the various platforms that I sell on for the first week of August. So that's August 1st to August 7th. And I'm going to scoot over here and we're going to start off with Poshmark. And I have I think a thank you. Dottie bought this Outer Banks t-shirt from me for $12. I just sent out bulk offers and she took me up on my offer. So she bought this for $12 and it's for her husband. Apparently they used to live in Virginia and I think she watches the channel. I know she shares my closet very frequently, so I feel like she watches my videos. So Dottie, if you're watching this, thank you, and I hope your husband liked it. And it's really cool that you're also from Virginia and that I hope you have a lovely vacation in the Outer Banks, because that's why she bought this. So thank you very much. Okay, so now we're gonna go over to Etsy, and I have mentioned multiple times on my channel how much I absolutely love selling ephemera, and you can make good money off of it, especially if you get it all for free, which is where I got all this stuff from. I got to pick a hoarder house and I got all this for free. A lot of this stuff was stuff that was either in the book room or it was like the last day when just after the house had sold and they were trying to like clear out the last little bit of stuff. And it's a bunch of vintage magazines and then also some old playbills as well. And these all went to California, so I think they might be movie props, but maybe it's just someone who wanted to like do some research, some aesthetic research, or just for junk journaling. I have no idea. You know, that's why I love ephemera, is because it's honestly can be any of those things. People can use this for all of those things. And you can see here that I sold all of these pieces. The item total was $38, and for some odd reason Etsy charged like $17.74 to this person for shipping, and it's 2 magazines and and some playbills, so I could fit all of these in a flat rate envelope, so I refunded them some of the shipping overages. I just thought that was crazy. I don't know why they charge so much. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just glad that I was able to refund them some of the money and that hopefully this person really loved this. But again, all this was free, so free to $38, amazing. And now we're gonna scoot over here again. And just like last my what sold video, books have been moving for me. Books are definitely something that I really enjoy picking up and I enjoy selling. So I picked up this recipe book for 50 cents and it sold for $5.87 and the buyer paid for shipping. I like taking pictures of them. I like listing them because they're really easy. Media in general, super easy. And it does have a market. I love selling vintage cookbooks. This is from the lot of clothing that Carolyn and Ernie gifted me, so this was free, and it sold for my full asking price of $14.87, and the buyer paid a flat rate because this was like a heavy, thick cotton knit, so it did weigh over a pound. And again, this was free, plus it sold like within 48 hours of me listing it, so amazing. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to show you for this video is basically, besides the Etsy and the t-shirt, so most of the stuff I sold on eBay sold very quickly, like within a week of me listing it. And if it didn't sell within a week of me listing it, I will let you know. This dress was gorgeous. This is actually a costume dress for flapper era. This would not work as a flapper dress for me, which I mentioned in the video just because of when I showed you guys. This is also from Carolyn and Ernie. It wouldn't work for me because I'm too tall, but if you're like 5'6" and shorter, would work perfectly as a flapper dress. This had gorgeous beadwork, and to buy this dress new from the company that made this costume, it's like $30. So it sold for $15.90, and I couldn't believe for something that's supposed to be a costume was as well made as this piece was. So I already got great feedback for this, and the person thanked me and said it was gorgeous, and it was. I could not believe the quality of this dress when I looked on the website and saw that like this particular style of dress only sold for $30. Like how? Sweatshop labor, that's high. But yeah, gorgeous and amazing. And I've been starting to list my hoard of dresses. I've mentioned before that prior to me getting Karen, pants and dresses have been like the worst thing that I did not like listing the most. Now it's just pants. My pants pile was large. But with Karen, I'm actually loving listing dresses now because like you can see how it looks like. It's super easy for me. Yeah, this Eileen Fisher dress, I only pick up, I'm very picky with Eileen Fisher. I only pick it up if it is silk and or linen or wool. Even the cotton pieces, it has to be something interesting for me to pick up, but linen, silk, and wool, I will pick up Eileen Fisher, of course, unless I find it at the bins. This sold for $42 within a week of me listing it. Amazing, so amazing. And when I saw that offer come in, because I listed this at like 50, and when I saw this came in, I'm like, a reasonable offer? As soon as I listed it? Yes, okay. Thank you, take this. It was gorgeous. So last time I didn't sell a Pearl Snap, this time I did sell a Pearl Snap, and it sold for my full asking price of $9.87. And you might be asking like, why did you sell it for so little? It's because Plains Western Wears, I think actually sold at like Kmart, not Kmart. It might be Kmart, it's either Kmart or Roses or Walmart, one of those. But it's not expensive new, it's like $15 or $20 new. So this was awesome sale for me. That actually had not sold quickly. This sold within a couple of months, but yeah. Again, something from the freebies from Carolyn and Ernie. It sold for my full asking price of $24.87 within a week of me listing it. And this is a pair of Nike Ultra Comfort slides. So this was amazing. Again, just a beautiful gift. Because this next item is also from that haul of stuff. This was Venus, which is not a brand I'd ever heard of before. So there wasn't a whole lot of comps for this brand. So I just put it as $10. I sent off 20% off offers to watchers, and someone scooped it up for $7.90. Perfectly happy to let a free item go for that amount. And I put this on the mannequin because it had like these fishnet sleeves that just look kind of wonky on the hanger, so putting it on Karen I think helped a lot. I also found a stock photo as well that I put as like the last picture, which I also think helped. Another book. This took a few months to sell. I picked this up at the Dav for $2 in Gloucester. Totally happy with that. I really love fantasy and sci-fi books. I thought about maybe holding on to this for my book channel, but because it was in such good shape, I just decided to let someone else have it for a new home to read it. So I still doubled my money, and again, totally cool with only making double my money, a couple bucks, because this was super fast to list. So this is something I didn't show in any haul ever. I don't show every time I buy stuff on this channel, just because sometimes I'll pop into a thrift store and I'll pick up like 1 or 2 items. Like I'll just do a quick, 15-20 minutes, and if I only find a couple things, I'm not going to necessarily show it in a haul. But I found this for $7 at the Dav by my house. This was basically, I don't think someone ever wore this. So this is a from the 90s. This is a RCA Pro Edit varsity jacket. This would have been something given out to stores like Radio Shack for their employees to wear when RCA introduced this style of camcorder. This was like a camcorder, like one of those thick bricks that you used to have to carry around instead of this phone or this camera that I'm shooting on now. That's what this was. This was to celebrate the release of the highest end camera at this time. So 7 to 40. That was a long-winded way to say 7 to 40, but when I saw this and I saw that they only marked it at $7 because this thrift store loves to like put eBay listed prices, not eBay comps, but eBay listed prices as their base price for their items. And so I was grateful that this had no comps on eBay, so they just listed it for $7. It was great. I felt like I stole something from the store. I paid for it. I paid them $7, but the Dav next to my house is really hard to find inventory to sell like this because they normally have it behind the counter. Whatever. That's a long-winded way to say I'm really happy with the sale. This is a piece of restaurant wear because I have a weakness for it, and I found this for 80 cents at that same Dav that I just talked about because someone basically, I guess their antique booth, they decided to close out their antique booth and just like donated their antique booth to the store, and I happened to scoop it all up when that happened. But this sold for $4.70 and the buyer paid $6 for shipping. I just wrapped this in a copious amount of bubble wrap and sent it on its way, but it made it there safely, and I'm happy to save another piece of American history from getting trashed. This is another piece from Carolyn and Ernie, and this greatly benefited from Karen because This is like the thing. I couldn't figure out what it was. I was like, this is a bralette, but I have no idea how this was supposed to go together. So putting it on Karen, it looks great. But this is from Express, so I just put it up for $5. Someone immediately snapped it up, so very happy with that. And it also looks really great. I thought about keeping this for myself, but when I did the little neck thing, I don't like things tight around my neck, and it was too much. I did not like that. If it was just like the rest of this without the neck thing, I totally would have kept this. Again, Carolyn has great taste in clothing. This is something from the Air Force retirees house, which means I've had it for, you know, almost 2 years now at this point, and it finally sold. Eigel is something that's more popular in Europe and the UK. That's basically Colombia, but for over there. So it's not really as popular here in the States because, you know, we have Colombia. So, but this finally sold for $7 and the buyer paid $4 for shipping. This is something I thought about. Maybe I needed to re-photograph it because this is not the greatest photograph, but I didn't, so happy about that. This is funny, okay? I always wipe out the buyer's name, even in bundles, so that way you guys, like, privacy issues. I try to be as respectful as possible to my buyers. But this I thought was funny because they left me positive feedback, and when I looked at their profile picture, they were literally wearing the shirt. So I thought that was amusing. And if you watch my channel at all, just know that made my day when I saw your feedback, and then I saw you actually wearing this shirt in the feedback. Just so good. This is also from the Air Force retirees house, so it took over a year and a half to sell. And they bought it for my full asking price of $9.87 and paid for shipping. So it was beautiful. I liked that. It was a nice little frosting on my day. This is a vintage piece that was so cool on. Like, it looks kind of blah on the hanger, but this was just like a really cool piece on a body. This was very dynamic. The colors were very vibrant, even though it's just like blue and black, but like on a body, especially if you like styled this with a high-waisted like red skirt, it would look so pop and so retro. So cool. It sold for $11.90 and the buyer paid for shipping. So happy, and hopefully this will have a long life ahead of it because it was just a cool little piece. This next item is Stanley Blacker, which is a really good vintage men's brand. And I say good as in if you can find some pieces from the 70s like this tie is in certain styles. Like if you find like a corduroy blazer from Stanley Blacker, they look so sexy. Like the nice 70s piece, or even like early 80s. Some of those pieces look really good before they have like the big boxy shoulders and stuff. It's a good brand. Sold for $11.87 and the buyer paid for shipping. So I've got a tie and I have pearl snaps. I don't know if I have any cups or mugs, but we'll see. I say we'll see because I don't remember screenshotting what I screenshotted for this week. I sold one of the hats from a recent estate sale, so I paid $1 or $2 for this. I don't remember. Sold for $9.50 and the buyer paid for shipping. I always ship all of my bald caps in an 8x6x4 box because I don't want them to get crushed. I always ship my hats in boxes. This was a nice surprise. So I paid 50 cents for this book at the bins because hardcovers at the bins are 50 cents and soft covers are 25 cents. And when I looked, I don't have very much reception at the bins in Hampton. And so a lot of things I just picked them up based off of gut instinct, and this was amazing. So it sold for my full asking price of $29.87 and they paid $4 for shipping. I did contemplate keeping this because this obviously would be very helpful for me as someone who likes to sell pottery and porcelain, but I was like, am I ever going to actually read this all the way through? No, no, I'm not. So I just sold it, and I was like, you know what, I'll probably find it again. I found the same book multiple times at the bins. So not this same book, but like the last What Sold video when I talked about the Great Gatsby book, I found that twice at the bins. So I have a feeling that this book will come back to me. Another piece from Ernie and Carolyn. It's amazing what happens, like how fast things can sell if you like list them in a timely manner. I'm saying that because like I tried really hard to get everything that they've given me listed as fast as possible. I still have the jewelry and that one Tommy Hilfiger bag to list, but everything else is listed. And this is a Victoria's Secret Heavenly top. Again, something that I thought would benefit from being on Karen because I didn't want to put it on because I'm tired, because I'm listing really hard. This sold for my full asking price. And again, Ernie and Carolyn, thank you very much for this lovely gift. So this cost me nothing. I'm having a really good time and good luck selling these vintage owner's manuals. So this was a recipe and instruction book for the exact same KitchenAid that my mom has. And I'm going to tell you the story of that KitchenAid because my mom told it to me, because I didn't know it. Like, I just knew that this booklet was the same, for the same model that my mom had. And what I didn't know is that my mom's KitchenAid mixer was actually, she got it for free because when the house that I grew up in, that my parents built, or had built, had a KitchenAid dishwasher in it. And when they first bought the house, like that was the first dishwasher they had, and it was a KitchenAid dishwasher. And it caught on fire because it had a double failure. And so it caught on fire, and KitchenAid had to replace it because it was under warranty and it was like a double fault failure. That's like manufacturing issues, not from anything that my parents did or did not do. And because of that, KitchenAid had to replace it, and they replaced it with something that was way less. Like when my parents bought the dishwasher, it was like the top of the line dishwasher at the time. It was like $800, which doesn't sound like a whole lot now because most dishwashers now are $800, but that was like the top of the line. If you think about like 1980s money versus like 2022 money, like this would be how much that dishwasher would have cost now. So my mom was pissed and also pregnant with my brother. So, because this was like a brand new dishwasher. This was like, my mom was pregnant. She just had to deal with the fire. It was a brand new dishwasher, been in the house less than a year. And they had replaced it with a lower quality model. And my mom was like, no, this is unacceptable. And so then my dad, of course, got on the phone. She's like, you're giving my wife all this grief over this thing that you messed up on. Like, you messed up on the original dishwasher, then you messed up replacing the dishwasher, and my wife is pregnant. She's about ready to give birth, and you're giving her all this grief. And so not only did they come back out and replaced it with the correct dishwasher grade, but they also then gave her this KitchenAid mixer for free because of the grief that my mom had to deal with to get it replaced, and of course the fire, and you know, yeah. I don't know why I felt that was a cute story to share, but it was just something my mom doesn't. The stories in my family are normally told by my dad, and that is like the first time ever hearing that story. And it was from my mom when I told her I had sold that, because she had come over and we had gone to do lunch when I was bagging this up, and she told me that story. So I want to immortalize that here on the internet because it made me smile. So thanks, Mom, because she also watches these videos, for telling me that story. And that's why I picked this up, and it made me $6 because I picked this up for like 25 cents at the bins. So yay. This is a Banana Republic pair of jeans. I did not buy these. Well, technically I guess I did. I did not pick these out at a thrift store. They came in a thread-up denim box. My buy cost for that box was roughly $4 a piece, so more than happy to let these go because I've had them for so long, because again, pants are my least favorite things to list. So very happy to see those out of my house now. These 550s are not something I would necessarily recommend picking up. 550 is one of the most common style of Levi's, but I think, I know that this went to a woman. I'm guessing she's gonna wear them for herself. I think the fact that I had the inseam and the rise in it helped. But these sold for $19.87 and the buyer paid for shipping, so this was awesome. And I think it was honestly the inseam, because it was a 6-inch inseam, which is kind of not common anymore. This was a book I considered keeping for myself just because of the fact that I wanted to read it. I do have a degree in history with an emphasis in American archaeology, and my actual thesis for getting my bachelor's degree was based around the Nuremberg trials because that's what was assigned to me. I did not get to pick my thesis. I'm still salty about that. But this sold for $11.87 and the buyer paid for shipping. I decided to sell it because I thought I was never going to get around to reading it, because I in a follow-up video, in a video later on, I'll show you my pile of books to my TBR, which is the short form for to be read. So I just decided to let this one go. And another piece from Carolyn and Ernie, sold for $11.90. Buyer paid for shipping. I do like picking up and selling LL Bean when I find it at the bins, or if I can get it for free like this, because it does sell and it sells quick. Okay, the next set of cookbooks I have to thank a viewer for, Deb, who has provided lots of helpful comments on my videos as well as encouragement. Decided to buy these two cookbooks from me. I got both of these for 25 cents. Actually, I got them at the bins, and then I think also one of them I got from an estate sale. But she bought both of them, so I'm so sorry for those of you that wanted me to do a thrift or treat and make the meat ring. Deb has made that so that's no longer possible, but I did send her a message that if she decides to make the meat ring, she has to like send me a picture because I want to see it. But that is no longer an option now. I'm so sorry, but I am sure that I will find more vintage cookbooks that I will want to sell, that I will have just as an atrocious recipe in it, or just it sounds atrocious. It might actually be delicious. But both of these sold. Very, very happy. Deb, I hope you love them. Thank you for supporting me here on this channel. Thank you for buying from me, and again, let me know if you make the meat ring. This is something I picked up at the bins. I had thought that this was a men's small, but it actually turned out to be a women's small, and it was like a small. So this sold for $6. It was less than a pound, so I paid like $1 for this. Just happy to get it in and get it out. This is something from the Smithfield estate sale from a really long time ago. I got to pick a bunch of clothes and just name my price, so I paid less than $1 for each piece. This was a camel hair jacket. I could not get this to photograph well, so I just let it go for $20. I received a $20 offer, paid less than $1 for it. Yes, you can have this camel hair jacket for $20. I want it to make a profit, to make a decent profit, which if I paid less than $1 for it, $20 is a good profit, and to get it out of my house. So fabulous. This was in that giant pile of pants that Moxie had a nest of, and this sold for my full asking price of $29.87, and the buyer had a flat rate for shipping. So I love selling linen, and I love that Moxie's nest is now just the papasan, and there's not unlisted inventory in it anymore. I did have to lint roll this for a very long time before I could sell it. This is a Hardy's Boys book. I got this for 50 cents at the bins. It sold on offer for $7. This is a cover I don't think that would be on a book anymore, but this is original from the 50s. It has the original text on it. There's some Nancy Drew books, and there's also some Hardy Boy books that had their text changed to be more modern, to be more palatable to a modern audience. In the case of Nancy Drew, it was to make things a little more sexist, which didn't actually modernize it at all. But you don't need to know this. This is just random book knowledge that I have. So $7, paid 50 cents for it. Happy to see that go. And that is the last thing I have to share with you. I hope you guys have enjoyed these thick sales videos, because I've definitely been enjoying having all these sales in a week. Like this was a good week, and the week that I'm in now is a good week. The consistent listing has been paying off. Dresses, you know, it's still technically dress season, so listing these dresses has paid off. My next What Sold video will have a lot of dresses in it. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I will see you guys in a couple days for another video. Until then, bye! Bye. Moxie also says goodbye. Miss Moxie would like to let you know that if you want to watch more videos from me, they will be around her, and that I am currently at 60 of 1,000 items listed. So I'm at 6%, and I'm making progress, and yeah, thanks for watching.